Okay, gang, I'm going to just show you some of my military collection. These are just some M43 caps, and I want to show you what a genuine Afrika Korps versus a knockoff cap looks like. I think you'll get a kick out of this. This is a really high quality knockoff. It's a really nice piece. Somebody added this to the side of it just for fun. That is actually an original pith helmet shield. I'm looking for a pith helmet. I'll certainly use it on that. It really looks good. But and take a look at the inside. Now the real Afrika Korps stuff has got the red interior. Can you see all those crazy stamps? I can promise you the originals don't have those. What they will have is that 58. They might have that 1942, but they're not going to have that stamp that looks like a postage cancellation stamp somebody used to make it more of a fake. But just about every cap you're going to come across is going to have that a size stamp in it. This is almost like a corduroy texture. It's a real nice piece. And if you didn't know better, you'd say it was the real deal. But it's a fake, $35 fake, real nice piece. Now here's an original. I hope I'm getting the detail in it for you. A lot of these patches were sewn on by hand. They weren't sewn on by machine, although some were sewn on by machine, but a lot of them were not. So don't discount them because you see an insignia sewn on by hand. This one is a really nice piece. I got really lucky to find this one. The Afrika Korps stuff is really sought after. It's really hard to find. And so now let's look at the interior. Now this one, being that I just said that they always have a number stamp, this one doesn't, for whatever reason. And this is a super fine corduroy, a much finer gauge. Real nice piece, really nice. Okay, this is a Luftwaffe pilot's cap, or a bombardier navigator. Anybody that would have been in the aircraft would have worn this guy. It's got the pieces to hook up to the radio so you can hear shit. It is a fur interior. It's got rabbit. Looks like it's got wool. And let's see, I think this one has a really nice patch in it. Aha, there it is. Can you see that? No, it's really hard to tell in a moving camera, but it has a really well detailed label in it. LKP W101. Yeah, it's too bad you probably can't see it. But anyway, these are neat caps. These are pretty common. If you collect Luftwaffe, you're most likely going to have one of these in your collection. The channel suits, those are really sought after. Okay, this is a mountain trooper's cap, the Berg. I'm not sure what they call that. This one you can see there's some rust on the buttons, although people will fake them and put a little water on there to make them look like fakes. And this one, you can see, has got some stamps in it. And those are genuine stamps. Robert Lubstein was one of the big hat makers, and there it's got the size stamp of 56. Real high quality piece. And that is the real deal. Now, let's look at this guy. This is the knockoff of that. Really super high quality. Really nice piece. It's got a size stamp. It's very hard to say what that other decal says. But you know, when you see these knockoffs, folks, people wore these things. I mean, they're going to be sweated. You know, they probably wore them for a couple, 2-3 years. They're just going to be worn down. And when they look like they're right off the shelf, that's a good telltale sign they're a fake. Neat stuff, though. This is a really neat piece. This would have been on the Eastern Front. It's a routed fur cap. Wehrmacht, Luftwaffe, SS would have worn these. Sometimes they'd have an insignia right there. These are really neat caps. I'm not a guy that wears fur, but this is a really warm cap for winter wear. And you can see there's a bit of a stamp there. And that's the thing. There's another thing. When you're buying these old antiques, the fakers want these stamps to just look fantastic. And the originals, they're worn. They're just really heavily worn. And that's a size 60, very hard size to find. Real nice piece. Personally, if you had one of these, I wouldn't wear it because they are, what, 60, 70 years old now. They should be in a case for people to look at. If you like wearing this kind of stuff, just buy the knockoffs. Here is a really nice knockoff Luftwaffe cap, M43 cap. I mean, just dead on. Just a really nice piece. And okay, now this is one of my favorites. I think this is Lost Battalion's Falschmeister Mutzenfabrik. What could that possibly mean? Fake master. That's what that means. There was a guy on eBay sold a tunic a couple months back, and it clearly said Falschmeister on it, and man, dead on. It's a Lost Battalions piece. The Lost Battalions people, they made fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, I guess they just didn't have enough business and they quit making them. But this is one of their caps, and man, it is just dead on. Really nice. Now these, I got these many years ago. These are Panzer caps that the crewmen in the Panzer tanks wore. I got these out of Belgium. Really nice pieces. I mean, unbelievable. Nothing's for sale, and I certainly wouldn't sell these. You're just never going to find them. Just never going to find them. Really neat. Lots of variations on that skull. A few variations on the eagle. Could be a wool skull. Could be a bevo skull. And here is another one. Really nice piece. So the late war had the eagle on the top of the skull, and this one also it is a size 60. I just collect size 60 if I ever find it, but I just got kind of lucky on this stuff. Really nice piece. Very hard to find. Very hard to find. The fakes are damn near identical, and that's actually a bevo skull. I think the late war stuff used bevo versus that thicker wool from earlier, and that's a single button. Note the eagle's no longer on the side, it's on the top. And here we have a side cap. It is really rough. You know, I've actually heard of people putting these caps, the fakes, in like aquariums with moths to get a moth nipped so they could pass them off as original. That's, I mean, you know, why don't you just sell used cars or life insurance or mutual funds, you know, because, yeah. But this is the real deal. It's really worn out. Personally, I love them when they're all salty like this, because, you know, there's just no doubt it was the real deal, and a soldier out in the field was wearing it. Real nice piece. No size stamp in that guy. And let's just take a little look at some blades here. Okay, this K98, everybody knows what a K98 is. That's a real nice piece. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a serial number right there. Real nice piece. 9218 is the serial number. 42.cof. I don't know what that is. That must be a maker. Nothing on the scabbard with a number, so. But that's a real nice piece. I got that from a lady who her husband was at D-Day. And this is one of those eBay finds. You gotta search through 10,000 listings of crap to find the good stuff on eBay. But take a look at that. That is the real deal. That is not a $40 knockoff. Blood und Air, blood and iron, and it's got the God, it's so hard to see anything with this camera. I'm hoping you can see it. Go look on the internet. People have got these on the internet. You can look at the insignia. And there's the Hitler Youth insignia. I think, and there it says, looks like E. Geerling, Solingen. That's the famous folks in Germany, in Solingen, that do all the blades from World War II to present. But finding these with the motto is really hard to find. But that doesn't mean that if you find one that doesn't have the motto, that it had, and that the motto has worn off. Some of them were just not made with the motto on it. And there it is. That's a real nice piece. That's the real deal. What you see in the fakes is, I think they call it acid etching. And the RZM isn't like a stamp that's been printed out by a machine. It's like acid etched on. They really do their homework faking them out. But that's a real nice piece. That's a really rare one. God, I looked for one of these forever, and a guy had it, and there it was. His grandfather brought that back from World War II. Now here's an interesting piece. This is I only have one dagger, and this is an SS dagger. There's a skull, or excuse me, the runes. There's the eagle, and mine Air Iced Troya. Is that correct? My honor is my loyalty. And this guy here, okay, and there's some size stamps. God, it's so hard to see with the camera. But 121/34 SS runes, RZM tag, and there is the number 71646. If you do your research, some of these daggers were serial numbered, not all of them. And this dagger actually belonged to an SA man who later became an SS man. A little beat up, a little dinged up here. But that's an interesting piece. Really, there it is. Now you can really see it there. Mine Air Ice Troy. They do make fakes of these too, but when you look at the originals and you hold in your hands the fakes and the originals, it's really clear as day, because there's just that German quality that we want to be in business tomorrow quality, you know, that you just don't see in the fakes. The fakes are good, but they're just not that good. And that's just a few things I thought I'd put on my video today. I'm very interested in buying Afrika Korps, anything Afrika Korps, tunics, pith helmets. I'm a collector. I keep what I buy. I don't sell anything unless it's just a duplicate, and it's just something I have to sell or trade to get something I really want for my collection. But that's just some of my stuff today. And on my next video, we'll look at RAF Irvin coats, fakes and originals, and that's what we'll do. Thanks for watching. Send me an email, let me know what you think, comment, whatever you like. Catch you later.